205 million. Cue the drone shot. No drone flying today. There are sheep on the mountain. I don't want to give them a scare. Welcome to Pen y Fan in the Brecon Beacons National Park, South Wales. This is a mountain that I've grown up with. I've been up and down it more times than I can count, I think. As a kid growing up in London, our family would take summer holidays in the Brecon Beacons, and we would hike or we would cycle. We would stay in youth hostels or we would camp. Sometimes we could be found legging it to the Brecon Beacons mountain centre to try and dry off and warm up with a hot chocolate. Sometimes, if the weather was good, we'd be by a stream somewhere boiling up water for mugs of tea. And wherever you are in the Brecon Beacons, Pen y Fan is never that far away. As an adult, pretty much whenever I've walked up it, or it's been in the distance, or it's been on my route home, I've taken photos of it or filmed it. This was on the way home from North Wales. The clouds were just drifting along ever so slowly, or skimming stones in what was once a reservoir in the valley below. From all sides and angles, in all seasons and conditions. It's a little bit iffy. Weather conditions. Or on a really bizarre morning when the police closed the mountain and I left with armed police in front of me. As a kid, or as a dad taking a photo of my own kids. But there's one time of the day that's really special: sunrise. Once you could pretty much guarantee to be here all by yourself. Not so much now, which is fine, it just presents different creative opportunities. Pen y Fan is 886 metres high. It's the highest point in South Wales, and here's something that's really cool about this mountain. From there all the way around to about here, it's the highest point for hundreds of miles. Let me show you. Put a couple of stones on here. All right, we are currently about here. So we are higher than all of this part of Wales, but there's a mountain just up here about 90 miles from here called Gadodris, which is 7 metres higher. So anything further north than there, we're going to come unstuck. But until you get up to the Lake District, where there are mountains that are higher, and I think one in the Pennines, you've got this lovely straight line view, and all of this part of England is lower. Now if we come into Ireland, there's some mountains not too far from the coast, but there's a little bit of Ireland here that is lower than the top of Pen y Fan. Let's come across into Belgium. All of Belgium is lower. All of Holland is lower. All of Denmark is lower. There's some great mountains in Norway. This part is lower. And all of this part of Sweden is lower, and this part of Finland. Now if we come into France, we have obviously the Alps and we've got mountains down here, so we have to kind of draw a bit of a line that goes sort of around like that, but all this chunk of France is lower, and then across into Germany like that, and all of this part is lower. And then across the top half of Poland is all lower. My pen's running out here. and then all of Belarus on this bit of the map. And Lithuania is lower, Latvia is lower, Estonia is lower, and this part of Russia, all of that is lower than you if you're on the top of Penavan. And that's a lot of people. I mean, I took it quite seriously. I looked at each country and where the mountains were that are higher than Penavan. I looked at population centres and areas and regions. I drew lines. Yeah, I was proper curious to see actually what the outcome would be. I'm not saying I did a head count. I didn't go around each country and count heads, and I kept it on the conservative side, but I'm fairly confident to say that if you were on Penavan right now, you would be higher than 205 million other people from all the way over there to all the way over there. Which is amazing, isn't it? 205 million people on little old Penavan. In the grand scheme of things, Penavan is not a big mountain. It's not a super impressive one. But I live 45 minutes away and I never get tired of seeing it. But it's more than that. It's an introduction to mountains for thousands of people every year. For many, it'll be the first mountain they ever climbed. For thousands of people of different backgrounds and ages, every year it provides the opportunity for them to experience and enjoy the satisfaction of getting to the top, of posing for that photo, of breathing deeply and taking pride in their achievement with a smile on their face and a memory they can take home with them. So here's to Penavan. Here's to you if you're one of the 205 million people. Here's to those that repair the paths and protect this mountain from our feet, and especially to those that will drop whatever they're doing day or night to help us if we're in trouble. Thanks for watching, take care, until the next time.